Welcome to this shortwave radio channel, and we are talking about the top 10 vintage tabletop receivers that are worth considering if you're looking for a good radio, a good tabletop receiver that still has enough performance and is good enough to even rival today's receivers. Well, on my top 10 list, I include the KENWOOD R2000. It's also known as the Trio 2000, as it is manufactured. I believe that's in Japan that they call it the Trio. But KENWOOD R2000 is a tabletop receiver that was manufactured in the 80s. It is one of the good receivers that KENWOOD actually made. It was the predecessor to the KENWOOD R5000, which was a kind of an upgrade to this rig that I actually own. So this is, of course, a shortwave general coverage receiver. Goes from 150 kilohertz all the way up to 30 megahertz without any gaps. You have a optional module that you can add that adds VHF options of 118 to 174. It tunes in steps of 50, 500 hertz and 5 kilohertz. It has AM FM SSB and CW modes. Of course, the reception or the receiver is one of those pretty sensitive receivers. It is actually very good, as of course attenuator control, dual clock with timer, has slow fast AGC or automatic gain control selection, noise blanker, and of course has a squelch circuit. It is a triple conversion superhead receiver. That means that you won't have to think or be afraid of images popping up at different areas. And it's one of the pretty precise receivers. Has very little drift. You know, back then, even tabletop receivers were drifting slightly for a lot of them. This one does a little bit, but it's not, it's not a problem. It's actually after it warmed up, it pretty much is very good. It has 2.7 kilohertz filter, 6 kilohertz filter. It has a 2.7 kilohertz filter for SSB and CW, and a CW narrow filter, 500 hertz if you listen to Morse code. If you had I believe an optional filter. Filters in the KENWOOD receivers, often you had extra filters that you can add if you wanted to use them. So it's one of those nice receivers to get. I've seen some pass by at very decent prices. When you get one at a decent price and you wish to have a tabletop receiver, this could be something to think about. The KENWOOD R2000 communications receiver, and this was actually produced in the 80s, so it is a 30-plus year receiver, but still, if it's in good condition. And once again, I stress that be careful when you buy these receivers. I got this picture from rigpix.com, by the way, so I just want to mention that so that if you want to check out a website that has lots of interesting information about receivers, rigpix.com has a huge list of receivers with pictures, specifications, year they were actually produced or made, and all sorts of detailed information, and a lot of documentation of user manuals and service manuals of receivers. So I want to thank rigpix.com for the use of this picture of the KENWOOD R2000. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.